The beat was great. Social media. It was live.
Varsity Sports Nation. Unleash the champion within.
Well, that's your boy, Coach Low for Life, a.k.a. the Camp King. And you're back again for another great episode in the film room. Not the boom boom room, but the film room. And you're doing here brought to you by Sports Club Florida. And this your boy is going to get it to you right and make sure you understand that if you ain't in the film room, then what room are you in? Because it's truly a mindset of greatness, a commitment of greatness, a sacrifice of greatness, and a passion of greatness. Make sure you have all for it every day. Make sure your athlete have all for it every day. Because in order to sit down and have the patience to watch film, the patience to see how great you did in that game or in that practice, in that drill, that training, it takes a strong mindset. It takes a person that's willing to have a commitment to sit there and just watch hours and hours of film. The ones that sacrifice their time to get better in the film room. So they can take that training and that knowledge to another level, to watch it, to write it down. Here's what they say. Those that take notes are serious. Those that do not take notes are playing games. It's almost like when you're setting goals. When you're setting goals written down come true. Goals not written down become wishes. I wish I would have. Don't wish it. Make a dream come true. Because we all know the NFL is a dream. A college degree is reality. No matter what direction we're going in the greatest sport on earth that we call football, aka in 2026, Moneyball. But in order to get the money, you have to put something before the money. In order to get the education, you have to put something before the education. Passion. Passion for the game. The love of it will bring the money. Passion for the game will bring the opportunity, the scholarship. So make sure you have the passion for it. Because I know I have the passion. That's why every week we get on here and we bring to you great episodes from great men all around the country, not just locally, everywhere. Because we want to make sure that whatever you want to hear, we're here to give it to you. Take notes. Get your pen out. Type it in your notes on your phone. Lock in to the episode today because we have a guest speaker that's going to let you know his journey, his path, and how he's giving back and how the time has changed when it comes to giving back to our youth. 'Cause we all know a lot of them want that instant gratification. They want the now mentality. They want to get it done right now, and that's not the key. We have to get it done in a journey. We have to take the 1,000-step journey in order to get to the next level. No journey is an inch. A journey is a mile. That's why when I first went to college and they said, we're going to run that 12 laps. We're going to run 12 laps. I'm like, what is 12 laps? All I know is 4. They said that's 3 miles. They said test us in a 3-mile run, how many times you could get around there, how fast, and can you do it a certain amount of time? They test our will. They made sure we had our friend with us. Will, last name, Power. Is your best friend named Will Power? Are you bringing that will to the field every single day or even the court? Make sure your expectation is an expectation to be great. And all the parents that listen to us, that listen to Coach Low for Life, a.k.a. the Camp King, make sure your expectation and your child's expectation is the same expectation. You know what? I got a gentleman come on right now that have that expectation. Have that expectation of greatness. My man coming on right now, this right here, former college football player, played at the Florida Gators and played at the Louisville Cardinals. Pursued an NFL career as a free agent with the New York Giants. Played in the spring league, a standout at South Lake High School. Started as a center for Florida Gators before injury impacted his career. He had a different path. God had a different plan. College career was great. We know that because he took that and learned from it and applied to what he's doing right now. Y'all welcome my special guest today, Mr. T.J. McCoy. T.J., what's going on?
How you guys doing? Thank you so much for having me on here, Coach. It is an extreme honor to be here on your show. And I'm just glad to be here and just tell my story. So thank you so much for having me, Coach.
Well, we know you have a story because what you're doing now is the reason why you're giving back. Most people don't give back unless they have a story, right?
Right.
Because they want others to have the opportunity maybe they didn't have, or opportunity that they did have. So your story is one that we want to talk and we want to share. So Central Florida or the state of Florida, all of the country know why. Because there always have to be a purpose and a meaning behind any type of event that you're doing. Everyone knows my story. They know my path. They know my journey. They know why I do what I do and been doing it since 1991. A long time. I am true, a OG. But do they know TJ McCoy's story? Maybe some do. The Gator Nation probably know. The Cardinal Nation know. The Giant Nation know. South Lake know. But let's tell the people that don't know you, your story, your journey. You started at South Lake High School, went to the Gators. Tell us about that experience, TJ.
Well, I have a unique story. First of all, my why on why I played football has to be because of my parents. I was blessed to have a father that was a 10-year NFL pro. He played for the Indianapolis Colts and the Arizona Cardinals. My dad is also from Central Florida. He's an Evans Trojans alum. So football is in my blood. I grew up watching it. I grew up the son of a pro of an NFL athlete. So obviously I wanted to do that. But it didn't come easy. So I'm 6'2", 6'1" and a half. So I'm undersized for my position. So I played center. And football didn't come easy to me, man. Like everybody thought, oh, you're gonna be great because your dad was great. My dad played defensive tackle, so I played O-line. I was moved around a lot throughout my high school career. I was at tackle and I went to guard. And then my senior year, God finally blessed me to go to center. And when I moved to center, that's how I started getting offers. So that's my football story. But I had a unique story. So what people don't know is you talked about me going to the University of Florida in Louisville. But what people don't know is I early enrolled at NC State. So I early enrolled at NC State. Going out of high school, I early enrolled there. Dave Dorn, he's still the coach at NC State. And I early enrolled there, played spring football there. Then I transferred to the University of Florida. Now everybody says, "Hey, why did he leave NC State?" But throughout my high school career, my dad had a battle with leukemia. So when I went to NC State, I went up there thinking that my dad was healed of cancer. And when I came back for summer break, I found out that he still had leukemia. So I had to make a tough decision and transfer. This is before the transfer portal. So like I just said, hey, I'm a transfer. Hopefully somebody picks me up. I went and transferred without knowing that I was going to get offered by the University of Florida. And it's so funny. UF didn't want me coming out of high school. When Coach Muschamp was there, he didn't want me. He thought I was too short. And then Coach McCoy came to the University of Florida and he saw my film. And he's like, man, I like this kid. We want to offer him a scholarship. And that's how I ended up at the University of Florida. I played there from 2015 to 2019. While I was there, I was able to be nominated for the Remington Trophy 3 times. I was second team All SEC on the freshman team. And I had a great career there. And then I transferred to the University of Louisville for my last year of eligibility and got nominated for the Remington Trophy again. With my playing career got cut short because of a head injury that I had while I was at the University of Florida. I didn't know it at the time, but I got hit by a drunk driver. I don't think everybody at home can see this, but I have a big mark on my forehead. And I got hit by a drunk driver and I was knocked unconscious and I was unconscious for 30 minutes and I woke up in the hospital. And at that time, I just had a bad concussion. But years later, when I was doing a physical for my pro day, a scout for the Miami Dolphins told me that, hey, son, nobody's going to sign you because of that head injury. And that's when I figured out my football career was over. So ever since that day, my passion has just been wanting to help youth through my nonprofit EYP. It stands for Empowering Young People. And we do a whole bunch of programs. We do summer programs for grade school kids. We do a fatherhood initiative program. We do youth monthly events as well. But we're here for football. And the biggest thing that we started a new program called EYP Player Factory, which is home of the Real McCoy Exposure Camp. This year is called the Real McCoy Schuler Elite Exposure Camp because I'm partnering with one of my former Gator teammates this year for the camp in Central Florida. But what we want to do is we want to give athletes a platform. We want to give them exposure, and we want to give them good coaching. But most importantly, we want this to be realistic. This camp is going to be shells. So they're going to be able to compete realistically, especially for my O-line and D-line. We're going to be able to lock horns and hit and
Well, let me
get
ask
physical.
you. Well, let me ask you something. 'Cause I see you going into the
Yeah.
camp and everything, and I see you excited and showed the passion just right there. And I hope
Yes, sir.
when people watching and families watching the Sports Club Florida and watch what we're doing and what we bring in, and they're looking at they're on we're in the film room, they see the passion that's on the screen. You can
Right.
tell someone passion over money or anything else. You can tell it. So
Right.
now I see it automatically from there. And it's funny how are times of I don't know what word I'm looking for. Like you never know who you meet.
Right.
I didn't have a chance to train you. I didn't have a chance to coach you. I trained some probably and back in 2018, 19, 20, I still was the heavy hitter when it came down to training. That heavy
Right.
hitter. I had all the power fives back then. Still, that was strong. But it's amazing how things work out. Here it is, 2026. Me and you sitting here talking in
Yep.
the film room right now and talk about an
Yes, sir.
event that you're doing. And you mentioned a name that I can relate to, Coach McElwain.
Yep.
I know Coach McElwain personally, and we talk at least once a month to this very day.
Yes, sir.
Coach McElwain was the first person that brought me up to Alabama, right, with Clinton Dix, who
Yep.
went to Alabama. Tom Smith, who ended up going to Tennessee. I had D. Hart, who ended up going to Alabama. But we went to Auburn instead of going there with us.
Yep.
We had Spencer Wassine, who ended up going to Washington State.
Mhm.
and Isaiah Meyer, who ended up going to Washington State. So all 5 of us is in a van. The first real bus tour, the
Yeah.
first true bus tour, that's what I had in my van with me, driving up to Alabama. We stopped by Florida and sat
Yep.
down. Sat down with Urban Myers. We drove up to Georgia Tech, sat down there with Coach Johnson. We
Yep.
headed on up to Georgia. I can't remember the coach name that was there at that time. Right before Kirby Smart came. I can't remember who the coach was.
Yep.
And we left there and went up to Alabama. So we ended up at Alabama. And Coach McCoy greeted us with open arms. Great dude. The relationship was there. And
Yep.
here it is now, you telling me that you had that relationship with Coach Mack. And Coach Mack now still coaching to the very day, and doing what he do. I think he at Western Michigan right now. And
Yep.
I mean Central Michigan. And it just goes to show you that networking is huge. So when you talking about being in a village, I'm finna go to the village. When you talk
Yep.
about being in a village, here it is, a village right here. We know the same people. So if I got an athlete that looking for a home, let me
Yep.
call Coach Mack.
Yep.
Mack. But then Coach Mack don't answer. Something come up, whatever, and Coach Mack like, okay, Lord, I'm gonna look at him. Then I call you, hey TJ,
Yep.
call Coach Mack on this kid right here.
Yep.
Now that's 2. It's coming
Yep.
both ways.
Yes,
What's your
sir.
thoughts about that there right there? Will come to networking and going and being around the right people in your village. Tell me a little bit about that, your thoughts on that.
Well, networking is huge. I think today's kids, today's youth, they don't really understand um, the benefits of networking. They don't understand the benefits of having, connections. So, and also coaches too. I just went to a coaches clinic this past week, the Nike clinic in Lake Mary, and it was like everything came full circle. I saw coaches that were coaching me in college, that were coaches when I was at the University of Florida. Now they're at another place, and they see that I'm coaching now, and they're like, "Hey, you got any kids that are for class of 2027, 2028?" And you know what I'm saying? If I think about it like, man, if I didn't play, or not even if I didn't play, but if I wasn't a good person, right? If I wasn't a good person, they wouldn't even ask me and say, "Hey, what kids do you have?" But because they said, "Hey, this kid has good character. I saw his work ethic while he was at the University of Florida. I want to see what kind of kids he has." So networking is extremely important as athletes and coaches. And coaches have to network. To the day of telling your kids that, hey, all you gotta do is come to my high school, and we'll have a good record, and you'll go to college. Is over. You gotta network with coaches. You gotta get your kids out there, and that is extremely important. And we owe that to our kids. That's why I'm sitting on the film room right now talking to you about everything that we're talking about, is because we want to help these kids get to the next level. And we cannot help them get to the next level if we're stuck at home. We don't feel like traveling. We don't feel like working. Even a story that I've been doing now is I've been taking offensive linemen and doing one-on-ones in Orlando for the past month. That's networking with Coach Tank with Trenchman. That's helping us get better. So networking is a extreme important tool that coaches and our athletes need to use today.
Well, no, what's interesting, you said that again. It's so crazy how you keep mentioning guys that in the same circle. You said
Right.
Coach Aaron Jones Jr., Tank Jones. Me and his father, of course, started Excel Speed and Fitness Training back in 2000.
Yep.
And we had Aaron with Mike Jones and my son Lowood and Ember people, all Power Five, Greg Mathis, Kenny Walker, Fabian Walker, all the guys was in that with us. And we produced them guys and trained them guys like crazy. And now here it is, Aaron is doing the same thing, giving back,
Yep.
putting top guys in college, creating that platform for them. Now he don't tag team with you, which is kind of interesting. I got a Florida State with a Florida Gator. I don't know what they all doing. What that all about?
Yep.
Hey, I got to talk to Aaron about that. What do we do? I'm a Florida State. Hey,
Yep.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see it.
What are we doing? What are we doing, Aaron? What are we
Hey,
doing,
we're
Aaron?
putting the beef aside for the kids. That's what we do. We put the beef aside
Okay, all right.
for the
House
kids.
of
That's what we do.
my wife is a Florida Gator fan, so Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a house divided, got dirty, but
Yeah.
she's out of control with it sometimes. But it's all love at the end. You know what I mean? Want them to win, in all cases may be. But that's great that Aaron Jones is doing something great too. He have a big trench of 5v5 camp
Yeah.
coming up March 14th, and then we're gonna
Yeah.
tag team and piggyback off into the real McCoy shooter elite camp. So I think that's awesome too. But you're training them and you're helping these guys individual one-on-one to get no better than that. And then you tag teaming the O lineman with Aaron Jones, who's a trenchman, is a D lineman. We're
Right.
bringing it back. I have to switch the gears now because I watch the NFL combine. And I'm a big into training.
Yeah.
Aaron Jones did speed and agility training. Tyler Davis, who number 90 for Ram, did speed and agility training. I trained both of them. Okay,
Yeah.
Kyle Wilbur, who played Dallas Cowboy for 10 years, DN, I trained him too. I had
Right.
opportunity working with the guys like Noel Pollards or guys that went NFL. I went for Sean Evans from Evans High School, Washington. A lot of guys that went there, and I'm noticing that the change it's starting to change.
Yeah.
High school coach don't have time for all that. They got to get them out of practice, do the workout, go through the system, rotate, learn to play, learn the offense, learn the defense, put the special teams in, and let's go. And all season, high school do not train. I don't care. They work out. They do a
Yeah.
workout. They lift, they run up the stairs, they run down the bleachers. They don't really lock in and focus on the technical side of it because we don't have the time
Right.
unless you got coaches there like the Trenches Academy, like
Right.
the Chad Matavies, like the Dorian Jones, guys who at the school or Fabian Fails, Jeremiah Fails, or got
Yeah.
a Sean Edgequone. These guys are trainers, so you catch them
Yeah.
trainers inside. Then you get a little bit more technical side of it, when all said and done. So why has these O-line and the linemen and the trenches has went away, to my opinion, what I've been
Yeah.
watching,
Yep.
from speed and agility when I just watched the NFL combine and the D linemen are running 4.5, 4.6, 4.7, O-line running 4.95 flat. But every time I look at video, all I see is kick, kick, kick,
Yep.
scoot, scoot, scoot.
Yep.
But then I watch the NFL combine and this guy hit the bag,
Yep.
and sprinted 20 yards.
Athlete.
So why
Yeah.
the parents are so locked in and just, I'm just gonna go work on that, but not they don't went away from the hard work. I'm not taking away hard work from position
Yeah.
training. I'm not taking away from it because cause you kicking, you're working, you're working, you're working. But
Right.
realistically, fast feet eat, fast hand eat, slow
Yep.
feet bleed.
Yep.
How do you get so? What's your intake on O line, D lineman doing speed and agility training, and then moving to position training?
Right. Well, you said something interesting. You said the parents. So, me as somebody that has a nonprofit organization that's all about youth, it all starts with the parents. If the parents don't see a benefit in it, they're not going to do it. But what's crazy is I was talking to my father about this because I was like, Dad, I know I listened to you because you played in the NFL. And you know what I'm saying? I knew you knew what was best. But today we have parents that have talented children, but these parents never played college football. These parents never went to the NFL. These parents probably weren't even good in high school, but yet they want to tell their kid what they do and what they don't have to do. It makes no sense. So to me, the biggest issue today is with our young athletes, with the speed training. Why they're not doing it is because the parents don't see a value in it. The parents don't want to invest in it. And my biggest thing is that where do you go in life that you could just get something for free? You don't. You got to invest into your children and you got to invest in the training. That's the only way you can make this happen. I mean, my dad made me do speed training. I trained with Dennis Mitchell. He's a world class sprinter. He made me do that in high school. And my dad was a 10-year pro. And he made me do that with Dennis Mitchell. So I'm saying this to any parent out here that's watching. If you never played college football, if you never played college athletics and you're telling your kid they don't got to do speed training, they don't got to do weight training, they don't really got to do nothing. They just got to show up and do what their coach tell them to do. I'm telling you right now here on the film room, you're failing your kid if he wants to be a great athlete or she wants to be a great athlete. You're failing them
Right,
because they have to get trained. But
right.
that's the biggest thing that I heard you say, Coach. That with the parents, like even I do with some parents today, just like, hey, like, oh, they don't have to do this, they don't have to do that, they don't have to show up to practice, and it's just like when we talk about college, what the heck you think? Like, what do you think is going to happen when a
And what,
kid, when Kirby Smart asks you why you miss practice?
what, the problem is, it
Yeah,
started stemming from the youth football, what I'm knowing. And I'm
yeah,
saying all this to lead up to what's going to happen March 15th. It started with youth football when you pull up at a practice and it's a top team and it's an all-star team. They got kids from all over the state of Florida. Might fly them in on a plane, drive them in from 4 hours away. They get to come to
yeah,
practice one day a week. There's 12 kids at practice.
right,
But then they get to the game, they got 30 kids and they win. Because you got the best players. Did you
yeah,
really coach? Did you really coach them up?
no,
Or you got the best players? That would drive me nuts. But hey, it's all good. Take the fame, take the
yeah,
glory, ride out with it. But I
yeah,
know one thing. My last year coaching, I coached youth football. We had 28 players average come to practice, and there was 28 on the team.
yeah,
And we had a good season, district champs. The week before the playoff championship, we had 18 players. Did not have enough to scrimmage to stick to our routine we've been doing for 3, 4, 5, 6 months.
yeah,
We end up losing the game because top guys, they didn't show up. It was
yeah,
Halloween or whatever. I don't know what happened.
yeah.
So it goes to show you that the structure that you had, it helped you get to another level. But then when you go away from that structure and kids start missing practice, not coming, it's allowed so much. And we didn't have the all-star team, but just what it was.
Yeah,
But I look at all the top teams, majority of them, they create more problems for themselves because they're not setting the kids up for success where they think they are. I never
they send
forget when
it
I
for
had
failure.
I coach all my years I coach. Every time I have parents come to me and say, "Thank you, coach. My son will prepare for high school." I said, "Why you say that?"
Yes,
He said, "Cause your practice was so structured. When he got to Dr. Phillip, he related. When he got to Edgewater, he related. And that's why
yeah,
majority of kids that came from our league back in, like the Eric Doctor who went to East Carolina, or the Tommy Hill who went to Nebraska, or the Chris Leary who went to Alabama, or these guys, because they was in structured systems. When they got to
yep,
high school, they relate a lot better than they did
right,
than others. And that's the key. How are they going to transition from youth football on to the high school? Better deal with that. And if they transition better, they play as freshmen.
yep,
They play as freshmen. It's hard to play as a freshman if you can't transition. Oh, now some can't play as freshman because they're smaller, might be as faster.
yeah,
I'm just going to tell you, my majority of kids that came to our program, our era, all played as
yeah,
freshmen, all went to, pretty much did well. So
right,
it started from there too. But that's cause it's allowed. Don't come to practice but one day a week. Oh, you just come 2 days. Just come on Sunday. You know what? And and parents got to get out of that mindset. And so that leads up to not being developed. So let's move into what we want to talk about. Transition thing right now. Big camp
yeah,
coming up, March 15th, right there on West Colonial Drive. Some people know it as the Fairground, but the name of it is the Emory. What's the name of it, Coach? Emory
Hamilton Sports Complex.
Amateur Sports
Emory,
Complex, right there,
yep,
March 15th. Eighth grade, ninth grade, 10th grade, and 11th graders that want to get real coaches,
yep,
real
yep,
exposure, real development
yep,
from coaches, trainers, and mentors, some of the best in Central Florida, all together at one
yep.
location with not just cleats on. We're talking about helmet,
It's
shoulder pad, so we
yes,
can teach the proper way of tackling, the proper way of blocking, the
yep,
proper way of technique training, and slow it down and just teach it. And that's what we if I'm a parent, that's where I'm going. I'm gonna get my kid, we're gonna get that helmet and shoulder pad. We're gonna go there and learn the proper way to use it, not just for developing how to tackle, also the safety way to do things. And I know that's what they're gonna get at the real McCoy and Shooter Elite Camp. And along with cameras everywhere watching, the exposure, the video, the clip, this this is the one of the best thing that's out in camp. I do camps all around the country, but I never even thought about doing a camp where they actually put their helmet and shoulder pads on, and we teach them. I mean, I do a process when my first day with pass on where they do butt shoulder pads and do all the basic
Right.
fundamentals every day. But you talking about doing it in a camp setting with real coaches, not knocking
Yeah.
the youth coach, not knocking some of the coach, but I'm just saying the
Yeah.
real coach. I mean, like guys that played it, that's in it, that know it, that lived it, that's doing it, and that know how to teach it. So, what make you guys come up with this ideal to put this together March 15th at Hamilton Sports Complex right on West Colonial? And what made you guys come with the idea to do it that way, put helmet shoulder pads on?
Well, I'll tell you this, and coach, I know you know plenty of college coaches as well. So a lot of my peers that I played at the University of Florida with, and at Louisville, and even NC State, they're either doing two things: they're either still in the NFL or they're coaching college football. So I talked to some of my friends and my colleagues that coach college football, and they told me, they said, "Look, man, I would love it if somebody would do a camp, like, the Nike, the Under Armour camp, but we would love to see something where they actually compete in their helmets and shoulder pads. We're not talking about them tackling like a scrimmage thing, but just everything that they do at all these other camps that they do in their helmet and shoulder pads. Because typically, a lot of high school athletes, they don't get to show what they can do in helmets and shoulder pads at a high school stage unless it's, at their school, or if they get invited to the Under Armour All-American game or the US Army Navy game, or these all-star games that are happening now. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to say, hey, let's make it a camp setting. Everybody's in a helmet and shoulder pads. Let's compete. And let's have real coaches that play the position. So every coach that's going to coach at the Real McCoy Exposure Camp, they either played in college or they played in the NFL. So that's something that I'm very proud to say. And then something different that we're doing from any other camp, because we're blessed with a lot of sponsors, we're rewarding the kids. So if you come out and ball and you get best for your position, you get a $250 scholarship. If you win the MVP of the whole camp, you get an extra $500 scholarship. Then on top of that, every kid is able to get an interview at the camp. And also, we're having sports media there. We have Chris Hayes with Orlando Sentinel coming. We also brought in UF Sports. So I have a contact, because I'm a Gator. We brought in the sports media from UF to come down and get content of kids and interview future Gators, I'm hoping. So we're bringing them down as well. And then some other scouts from Rivals and On Three to really just see what kind of talent we got out here in Central Florida. And then one more thing that we're doing is we're also having the University of Stetson come out to our camp. So they're coming out to our camp. So this is something that has been a big plan over the last year. I did one mock camp. I would say we did a camp last year at South Lake High School. But I didn't know the rules of the Florida High School Association. So I wanted to do a legitimate camp where kids are getting ranked, where kids are getting testing, where we partner with D1 training, and they're doing all verified testing. So they're going to be able to run their 40. They're going to be able to do their shuttle, their vert and broad jump. And then after they do all that, now it's time to compete. They put their helmet and shoulder pads on. We give them gear. We give them a practice jersey, and we also give them gear to testing. So, this is going to be a really good camp for kids that want to compete, and also kids that want exposure and that really want to get their name out there. So that's why we really
Anything,
wanted to create this play.
anything helps. Any
Yeah,
exposure can help. And I know the high school coaches need to start appreciate it. If there's a high school coach out there, send these guys. It's safe. It's done right. It's not no aggressive craziness or whatever case might be. It's a technique. We'll teach them. Why not? And here's the kicker: high school coaches, it's $35. $35 to come out for 4 hours to get qualified and timed by D1. You already know they're gonna get fired up and worked up by your boy Coach Low for Life, aka the Camp King. You got Roman Tater, top defense back coach, gonna be out there. Gary Johnson, University of Kentucky, top receiver, built by faith, going to be out there. Adam Shooter, your partner up there from Florida Gator, is going to be out there. I don't know. I thought I said Corey Vereen.
Yeah,
That's
Corey
one of my
Breen.
guys from University of Tennessee. That's my guy. One of my guys going to be out there. Aaron Jones, all them guys talking about pulling up. They're putting it on for the city again. Because every time I do an event, all them guys come put on for the city. Now they're gonna put on for the city with you, and I'm excited for them to do that. And that's what it's all about when all said and done. Passion before the money, low price, good development, good coach, a lot of sport, writers everywhere. Chris Hayes been doing an amazing job. Every camp now he been going to, the writers have been going crazy. Now other writers want to come to an event. I had a guy say, "Why you didn't tell me? Why you didn't tell me?" So other writers and stuff now want to come to events too, which is always great. But listen, you got your man, your partner, that gonna be with you, and I had hit him up too, and I got Shula, Adam Shula, right now had just came in, man. I thought about